So that goes into what I was saying earlier when we were talking about like forcibly putting people into mental health facilities.
Yep.
Some of that aversion to help is their brain telling them like, this is an enemy. This is not safe for you.
And by the way, how many of those folks would you say fill into this classification of having some type of mental health issue that they could be involuntarily I
don't know about when people were allowed to be put involuntarily into mental health facilities. I'm not sure what like the diagnostic criteria was for that, but like there was a UCLA study that said that 75% of the homeless population have some sort of serious mental health problem. So the vast majority of people who are chronically homeless, not just sleeping on the streets for one night because they're fleeing domestic violence or because they got evicted, people who are continually going back to the streets have serious mental health problems. And so these programs that are privately run are also run by people who have like the ability to help with the serious mental health problems. So they are targeting those who have, like, obviously people should be responsible for what they've done. Like if you have a criminal record, if you have an addiction to drugs, you've made poor choices, but it's how our current system isn't structured to let you come back from that poor choice. And instead you're going to stay on the streets instead of finding ways to go back into society and be a productive member of your community. And so that's what I appreciate about a lot of these private efforts to reduce homelessness is they focus on reintegrating into the communities. So whether that's through running a community garden or helping with construction, they help people who have previously experienced homelessness to be able to find themselves and grow, as opposed to government programs. Like there's in Massachusetts, which is kind of the most commonly pointed to example of, if you want public housing in Massachusetts, it's based on a point system. You have to get a certain number of points to qualify for housing. And some of that is if you've committed a crime, you get an extra point. If you had a drug addiction, you get an extra point. That means incentivizing people to commit crimes and have drug addictions. That's a problem. What we should instead do is find these programs that look for those who are searching to change or who are willing to talk. And maybe that takes that building of relationships, but then who actually will contribute back to society instead of creating these programs that are like, congrats, you robbed a store, we're going to provide you with a roof over your head. That's completely anti to how we could actually fix homelessness. And then, of course, those people are just going to end.
So, and really quick, Susanna, let's just like dig into these numbers here, though, because you mentioned a number, and I just want to bring this back up. So you mentioned that 75% of folks, by and large, probably suffer from some mental health issue that are on the streets.